I had a person pose a question. First, he said, what would this system be good for? And then he said, does it really work? Because I've never seen anything like this. And that's one of my pet peeves, because they didn't seen it, therefore it don't exist. So again, let's remind everybody that we keep this up and do journals on this. A lot of data. As you can see, data, just keeping up on what this is doing. But it's time to actually do a little experiment. So let's first see this right here is the battery being charged, and this over here is the battery charging this battery. So let's go over to this and see if we can get a good angle. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna loosen up that screw here. So let's first look at this while we loosen up this screw. See, as I loosen up this screw, how it's dropping down. Let me tighten it back up. Just tighten it back up. See, get that good contact. And look at that. Okay? So let's just loosen this up. That means it's not in good contact. And this is the battery. This is the battery being charged. And let's pull it. So we're going to pull that out of there. Okay? And look at this. And there it goes. And there it goes. It was at 11 volts. Okay? So let's push this back in there and see. See? And now it's saying the battery is too low. Okay? So, okay, we got the system back up. Everything's in here and it's not moving. The battery is not being charged. There is no amps. There is no watts. And it is no 12 volts in there. Even though the battery is attached, even though it's power pumping in there, let's go back to what I said. If that's not at 19 volts, if that battery dies, it is just going to sit here and do nothing. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn up this. We're going to start turning that up. Okay? And then we want to see as we turn that up, and there we go. See? Now it's starting to charge. You heard it click over and it's starting to charge. We're now at 15 and we got the system on. See 13? And we're starting to charge that battery again. Okay? So that's one thing. Let's do something else right quick. Okay. I'm going to turn this down until we hear a click. Let's zoom out just a little bit. And we'll see as this turns down. This is what we're turning down. That's a simulated solar. Okay, so as we turn that down, see the amps going down? I'm gonna turn it down a little bit more. Look at the amps. And there it go. Charger went off. Okay? Charger is now off. And we still reading 12 volts coming in the solar panel part and 12 volts at the battery. Okay? You can see it going down. So that's the loop part. And it's giving off no energy over here, even though it's connected. Okay, this is starting to build back up. There we are. We're giving off energy now. And there we go. Okay, and we turn this down. I'm gonna turn it down some more. And it clicked back off. We're we're down here. That's where we're at. That's how many amps is going in there. And guess what? It started charging again since it settled down. The reason why it settled down is because it just decreased that right there going into the grid. So once it decreased it, and then it's a smart little thing. It's doing a better job than I expected to do. So it's got some equipment there that regulates this voltage. Okay. So let's check one more thing. Let's check what's coming off the grid. And look at that. Okay? That's right there. And that right there. That means this right here. And see, if I leave it there and test this right here, that's what this is taken off the grid. And that says 11.9 volts. And it says 0.40 of an amp. So this is saying that it is putting in 49 watts of power into this. That's because of the battery. But if I watch this, it should be going down because it's pulling from that battery heavily. And at 1 amp, the way I've been testing it, it's not enough to keep that battery recycling. But we want to do one more thing. I want to take this solar panel off and see what happens. Let's see. I'm just going to unscrew that. Let's see what's happening up there. That way you can see the voltage drop off. And we're just taking off one side. And this is just the battery. Let's see. Okay, that is now disconnected. And now do I have to disconnect the other side? Oh, there it go. 0. There it go. That means no power is coming into from the solar, and the battery, it is at 11:55. It's looking for a charge, but it ain't no charge there. I wonder if I got that one side up. I don't know, because sometimes I should have connected the negative first, but let's take that all the way off of there since that just keeps popping up. And I see this because these two wires are connected right there. And then this 2 wires are connected. So it could be looping back into it that is doing that little off and on there. So if I just take that off. Okay. What do we have here? Yeah, 0 volts, and that's not coming back on. And the battery is now, come on, being drained. That means the load is on there. That's dropped down because no simulated solar on there and no battery power is on there. So you have to make your determination if this works or not. So we're going to hook everything back up like it was. You should see power over here again. and then that should be charging the batteries. You'll see amps there, you'll see watts there, and then we'll show that again. Let me hook this back up. And just to show this again, see how that charge is on there? And that's because of that loop there, positive, negative, and then going into the negative side causes that to try to charge. But it's not, as you see on the reading there, no charge, but it does show an amp. So again, you see power going into this, but not from this. So let's hook up this other side and we'll show you the difference. Okay, we got it hooked up, and you see his power coming in from the solar. We have an amp that's supposed to be the power of charging this battery, and we have the battery. And we have the light indicating that it is charging. And you see 16 watts, 0.6 of charging. Okay, the last thing that we're going to do here is we see the wattage that we're taking out, which is 37.0 watts. And we have putting into the system, let's say 49. Okay, and that is 12. Okay, I might have to turn it up just a little bit more because this is going in and out. That is going in and out. It's charging and then it's going back out. But we want to see what happens, and I want to keep records of that. So I'm going to change my paper out and keep a fresh notes of what is going on in this frame of it. Will this battery drop dead and turn off, or will it stay charged? That's more power coming out of it than we're putting into it. So when I'm expecting it to turn off, because if we're doing that, we should be pushing more energy into this than we're getting off. But you can see that's going into the grid, 48, and this is at 37. Okay, so we can take these readings, and I'm going to mark that down and the time, and then see how that is going to do. And then we'll make another video and you guys can make the determination to the questions these people asked. Just in the little time that I'm standing here, you see, this has gone down. I've kept the data and I've kept the time. I've kept the wattage, which more power is going out than in. This is the power we're putting in there. And the data shows the times, what the MPPT is doing, the battery, as you can see, look, 50, all the way down to 45, and then the energy of the grid from 39, and it started to raise up to try to compensate. This is going to turn off. So all those people talking about more energy out of the thing than in, this is what's going to happen. It's not going to work on their system at all. That's just drawing the power out of the battery. So what do? Let's look this up. What do? We turn it up. So let's look at these two things as we turn this up. And look at this. It is now taking 142.2 watts out of the grid. That's raised up to 50. And that's went to 12. Come on. And at 4, the battery is a little bit happier. Okay. So let's get it, because look, it's really doing some work. Let's get that to about 9, because this will drop back down. Okay, so let's get that to about 9. Just that I want to get that to 5. Come on. There we go. There we go. That's where I want to be at. That 5. See how many watts we're putting in? 68.9. And the battery is at 12. It's a happy camper. And it's not going to drop from there. It's going to stay there. Because that's basically a 12-volt battery right here. And even though it says it's got 15, if you count the cells and what's names, you charge it at 15, all that kind of stuff. It's just say we're rounding this battery off as being a 12-volt battery, and it's a happy camper. But look at this. That's what it's drawing from the grid. That plug right here, that's what they're drawing from the grid. That's 214 watts, and that's what it's putting out. Now, this will drop down as that battery gets full. But we took some of that out. And like I said, that page I did specially for that information just lets me know it's just draining those numbers right down. And that battery will empty out. When we do this, those batteries stay full. Where is it coming from? Well, this is the simulated solar. And these are the solars that will be operating on this soon as we find out all the calculations we have, and then how much the power will pull from those simulated solars. And once you got that, that system will stay happy all the time. All right. Okay. To finish this out, I'm going to give the answer of what this can be used for. See this little battery right here? If you continuously run this battery and charging it up and discharging, okay, with the power it can give out, because it's only going to give out much power is in the battery. But if you continuously charge and discharge this, okay, it's like your phone. Once you plug your phone into the wall socket and it's charging, you can use that phone as long as you want to. Because we're using solar right here, that means if my solar runs at nighttime and daytime, even if it didn't give off that much energy, my system off the grid will stay on 24 hours a day, period, and never go down. These batteries will always cycle at 12 volts. And it will stay that way until this battery is just no good. And here's the key about it. When we say no good, I mean period. I mean burn up, dry up, and can't take a charge. Because even when this is damaged and cannot work, which we're about to show you, this thing, as long as it'll take a charge, will work when the batteries are no good. So we'll show you about that, you know, because I want to show people that I've done these experiments. So let's look at another experiment that's still running today. Okay, let's look at this experiment. As you can see, it's quite dirty because it sits up there and it runs. Now, I got it plugged into the wall, just like the simulator. You can see the green light on the side here. It's charging. But let's look at this battery. Now, what happened is that the reason why it's out of here, this battery swelled up so much that it actually busted this thing in the back and it turned off. So this battery, let's see if I can get this off of here, what it does is it cannot run. I can't even get this off of here with one hand. I wanted to show you this battery. So let me pause this and get the battery. Okay, we got the battery off, and I want to show you how it's swelled up. It just, look at that battery. This battery is no good. Most people will throw it away. It busted out the back here, so I had to take it loose and bring it outside to keep it from damaging the circuit inside as it swelled up. And I taped it to the back to keep it going. Now, with all this gunk, let me stop the video again, and then we'll show you what'll happen if we unplug it. Okay, we got that tape off of here, and as you can see, it says full battery. Let's make sure that we can get that in there. Let's take the battery off of here, and immediate it goes off. It goes off because there is no full battery. It's all because of this plug. So let's see if we can get this plugged in here again. Okay, we got it plugged in again. The green light is on and it didn't come on. And now we got to actually turn this on. We got to wait till it actually gets down in the charge here, and we'll be able to turn this back on, and it'll be a happy camper again. Okay, we got it back up and going. It is showing my porch. It says full batteries. Sound is not plugged in, but I can see who's up on my porch. That's my porch. And this dead battery will work for many, many more years. So I hope that answers the question on why I'm doing the system the way I'm doing the systems, okay? So we can run batteries like this for years. And this has been running for over 10 years. Okay? And that battery is dead. It will not work without this battery. If it didn't have any juice whatsoever in this battery, this thing would not work because it will not work without a battery. Okay. That may prove something to some people. Some people may question it. But like I said, I took these apart and tried to splice these wires together to simulate a battery. It did not work. It only works with this battery on there. So again, people can come with all kind of questions and everything, but I've been doing these experiments for a long time. So the people who don't, they have the questions. The people who do these things will be in agreement with me because they experience the same thing. So that's the reason why we running these experiments. And guess what? We're going to keep going, and we're going to keep learning. I'd rather have this, so you would understand this. I'd rather have the only system up and running than never do this and can't get it patterns or make any money from it. Okay, so if I never make any money from it, remember this stuff is going into my house. My bill is going down. So whatever people say, I'm benefiting from this. And that's one skeptics can never complain about. All right, we're out.